Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing very well. Today we're in the MB-339. We're looking at the cold start and the taxi sequence. So the first thing is just look at the controls that we're going to need in here. To bring the throttle to stop, we've got right shift and end. To turn the nose wheel steering on, left alt and Q. For the wheel brakes, we've got W, and I think that will do us for now. So like you guys have probably found, the procedures in the manual, in the official manual, just don't seem to work. So I'll punch up the official procedure on the screen here, and I'll show that I have to adapt it to actually get it to work. So I don't know why that is, it's just the way it seems to be. So we do not need ground power or ground air. What we do need first of all is battery on. Let that fire up. Going to turn our starter master on, this switch here, make sure that's facing upwards. Our jet pipe temperature limiter we're actually going to have off, so just make sure it's in the down position. Next, the throttle needs to be in the stop position. It is by standard, but if you've accidentally nudged the throttle like that, then it goes into idle or onwards. To get it back to stop, put it to idle, then right shift and end, and it's back into stop. Next, we're going to press and hold the starter button for 2 seconds. It's running its own startup sequence now, so we're just going to have to watch the gauges for the time being. So, once the RPM is above 10%, what we need to do is move the throttle into the idle position, so move it forwards and backwards. Next, we're going to watch the RPM percent. It wants to be 40 or just above 40. We're going to check that JPT, or exhaust temperature, is within that limit and that limit, or just in the green actually. We're going to make sure that the fuel flow is positive. We're going to make sure that the oil pressure is within green limits. We're going to make sure that the hydraulic pressures are within green limits. Very good. Once we're up to above 40%, we can start generating our own power. Generator 1 on and wait for it to load up. Generator 2 on and wait for it to load up. Next, we are going to turn our anti-skid on here. If I can get it. There it is. I'm going to now turn my jet pipe temperature limiter on. This basically stops us overheating the jet pipe automatically. Check for master caution. We've got canopy, left control and Charlie. I forgot to say that earlier. Press that once and it will automatically lock and seal. Just cool things to note. You've got some cool readouts here. RPM 42% you can see there. Canopy is not closing. Let's try that again. Left control and Charlie. There we go. I'm going to make it nice and quiet. And seal. Pong. Check master caution and all fire lights are out, which they are. Check the caution, everything is out. The only one that's here is this one here, which seems to be on all the time, so I don't know how to get rid of that. I don't think you actually have to. Don't have to worry about takeoff trim yet. Note that the official manual procedure says that ground power has to be disconnected. We don't have ground power in DCS, or we don't need it at the moment at least anyway. In real life, I guess you would do. Okay, so we're going to turn our brake off. As soon as we turn our speed brake off, it will start slipping. Speed brake off. Throttle up a little, stick to about jogging speed, about 10 miles an hour, not much higher. Add a little gas with the throttle. We turn by turning our nose wheel steering on. Once you press it, it will say steer there. The rudder then activates the front nose wheel, and you can turn left and right with rudder. Don't forget that we're going to want to turn it off on takeoff. Use wheel brake button as we saw earlier. Bang the brakes on. One thing I did forget earlier is don't forget to zero your altimeter. Mine is already zeroed, but if you have to zero the pressure, then you can do that. Otherwise, I hope that was useful, and see you later.